So, pretty obvious thing, everyone looks for free stuff quite often, and these were the free things that I found while I was working on this project. To start, you have fonts.google.com, which has a massive array of font families. You can basically select just about anything you want, different font properties, categories, languages, all the kind of things that you need. You can preview them while you're on the website and type in just about anything you'd like up here. Or you can use another website called thefont.com, which has a similar vibe to it. You can choose fancy, cartoonish, comic, groovy, old school, just all of these options up here at the top so that you can find something that works for your project. Now, for all of the projects in this series, I used YouTube's audio library, which allows you to select certain genres, moods, durations, all that sort of stuff. And I found just about anything I could need here. It either required a YouTube audio library license, which means you don't have to attribute which song it is in the description, but I would say do that anyways because that's just the kind thing to do. Or you could have a different kind of attribution requirements, and you'll see them right here, Creative Commons Attribution 4.0, which means you'd have to include this information here in the description of your video or in your video, either one. Now, it would not be good of me to not talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin MacLeod. This guy right here has basically made all sorts of music, and I can 100% guarantee if you've watched any sort of YouTube creator, there's a very, very good chance that you've heard music that has been composed by him. And you can find all of it on this website in compotech.filmmusic.io. And he does require attribution of his songs, but honestly, with literally thousands of songs to choose from, it's only fair that you attribute him because honestly, I would have even known that it was all just one guy who made this. Typically, with those of you learning classes at the SMSC, you're required to follow the rules regarding copyrighted music and other media, so the best advice I have for you is to follow the dang rules. If you want music, you need to find Creative Commons music, so search for that. There's a couple different sites, but be sure not to get sucked into paying for something that's part of the Creative Commons. You can find a lot of other works here at creativecommons.org. They have a specific search for just about anything you could need, including music and I believe pictures as well. Plugins are super fun to use and implement in your next motion graphics project, so I'm providing places that you can get excellent plugins from. To start, we have Red Giant. Red Giant's entire product line is available to students for free simply by providing proof of your student status. If you don't know, Red Giant is an amazing repository of plugins that can create stunning particle effects, provide color grading, text effects, and so much more. I highly recommend you make an account and prove your student status so you can get the education edition of the products. Video Copilot. Video Copilot has tons of plugins that you can use, primarily Element 3D, which is their most famous one. You can find tutorials, other products, 3D objects, all that sort of stuff on their website, and I highly recommend you at least check them out for the tutorials, if not Element 3D. The final plugin that I'm recommending here is Motion Factory. Motion Factory has a ton of templates that you can use for your own motion graphics projects, and from what I've been able to find, they're pretty much free with the exception of some paid packs, but they're all extremely well worth it. And finally, for inspiration, we have a couple different channels on YouTube, subreddits, and the like. To start off, let's go with School of Motion. School of Motion has shown me and others how to create anything you might need, including the expressions that I showed you. I got information from them about that. And they have just tons of courses and such. There are some paid courses from what I understand, but you can find a ton of really nice, you can find a ton of quick tips, other tutorials, just a lot of things that'll make it really easy for you to understand how all of this works and why you do what you do. Corridor Digital is one of the oldest YouTube channels that have great effects in their works. They talk about the use of CGI in other people's works, and they also create a ton of content that I would just highly recommend you check them out. In addition, there is also Sonduck Film, who has a ton of tutorials for how to do really, really cool things. But I'd also say the same for TipTut and Ben Marriott especially. Ben Marriott has tons of extremely cool effects, but I would definitely recommend you check out him. And finally, Black Mixture. every one of these people, you would definitely want to see what they can show you, what you can learn from them. They're incredible motion graphics artists. And finally, R Motion Graphics, R Motion Design, and R After Effects. Every one of these subreddits are going to help you even more. With everything that I've shown you here, you should be able to make some awesome projects and learn a ton. This is actually the last video I have in my master's project. It's been a blast to create. I've enjoyed it. It's been exactly what I want to do later on in life. So if any of this has helped you, let me know in the comments. It's really been a great bit of fun to be able to make something like this for my master's degree. So for the last and final time, thanks, and see you in another video.